Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of How You're Getting Effed. I'm your host, Louis Rossman. Today we're going to be talking about a cancel culture that I believe all of you can get around. It's called right to cancel. Right to cancel is the idea that if I could sign up for something like a gym membership, which is a monthly recurring subscription on a company's website, that I should also be able to hit cancel on that same website to cancel my membership. If you're able to take my money with one click, you got to be able to stop taking my money with one click instead of doing bullshit like this. Best Fitness Nashua. Dear Louis, we've received your request to cancel your membership. However, per the terms of your agreement, your cancellation request can only be accepted if received via certified mail to ABC or certified mail to Club. Taking my money is one click, but if I want to cancel, I can't do that over the phone. I can't do that online. I have to go to my post office, wait in line for 15 minutes. Maybe I got to leave work early because the post office closes at the same time most people's jobs so that I could send you a fucking letter to do what I should be able to do on your website in one click. And there's a reason they do that. They know why they're doing that, because you have stamps at home. As annoying as it is to mail a letter to cancel something, it's something that you can do without going too crazy out of your way. But if you got to go to the post office because you got to print certified mail, that means that you're probably going to procrastinate and put it off, which means they're going to keep getting money every single month until you finally bite the bullet and waste a half hour of your life. They stole that from you. And they did it on purpose. I have 2 businesses and 2 nonprofits. I have a Zebra 2844 on my desk along with a Fujitsu that scans 60 pages a minute. 99% of the people that are going to a gym don't have that equipment. They don't have a Stamps and an Indicia account. They're going to be highly inconvenienced by this. And they do it on purpose because they know that if it's going to be 30 minutes of your life out of your way to be able to cancel your membership, that you're less likely to do it. There's no justification for why this has to be certified mail versus normal mail. I'm going to read you the rule that was drafted by Lena Khan's FTC that's been delayed over and over again. The individual that dissented on this rule, who thought that you shouldn't be able to cancel your gym membership the same way you signed up for it, is the same guy who's now chair of the FTC, Andrew Ferguson. As a result of this rule has been delayed several times and is going to continue to be delayed over and over again. That's been in the news recently. I'm going to read you some elements of the rule, and you tell me if you think anything here is that unreasonable. Simple mechanism required for cancellation. In connection with promoting or offering for sale any good or service with a negative option feature, it's a violation of this rule and an unfair or deceptive act or practice of Section 5 of the FTC Act for the negative option seller to fail to provide a simple mechanism for a customer to cancel the negative option feature and avoid being charged for the good or service and immediately stop any recurring charges. Pretty reasonable. Allow me to cancel. Simple mechanism, at least as simple as initiation. The simple mechanism required by paragraph A of this section must be at least as easy to use as the method the consumer used to initiate the negative option feature. If I signed up by clicking sign up for gym membership after logging in, I should also be able to hit cancel gym membership after logging in. Pretty reasonable. Minimum requirements for mechanism. At a minimum, the negative option seller must also provide a simple mechanism required by paragraph A of this section through the same medium, such as internet, telephone, mail, or in person, the customer used to consent to the negative option feature. So if I signed up on your website, I should be able to cancel on your website. They're not saying that you got to build new infrastructure. Whatever infrastructure you use to take the customer's money has to be the infrastructure that you use to allow the customer to be returned their money. For internet cancellation, in addition to the requirements of paragraphs A and B of this section, the negative option seller must provide at a minimum the simple mechanism over the same website or web-based application the consumer used to purchase the negative option feature. And for telephone cancellation, in addition to the requirements of paragraphs A and B, the negative option seller must at a minimum provide a telephone number and assure that all calls to this number are answered promptly during normal business hours and are not more costly than the telephone call the consumer used to consent to the negative option feature. AKA, you cannot do what Google did in 2008 when I signed up for Google Checkout, which I'm pretty sure was illegal in New York State, which is be a merchant services provider, have a phone number on file with the state that doesn't even go to a voicemail. It makes some weird-ass beeping noise and hangs up on you. Something that my business has been able to do for 15 years. Even when I was back working on my own as a one-man band, I'd be carrying my packages to the post office, a box of 15. I'd have my Plantronics Voyager Pro, and I would wind up, if somebody called me, it was middle of summer, like 103 degrees, I didn't want to put the boxes down because I knew if I did, I wasn't going to walk to the post office with them. I would wind up smashing the side of my head against the telephone pole, hoping that I would hit the little answer button just to not let a call go to voicemail. I'm asking a company that likely has 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 employees to have the same standard that I had for myself when I was working out of a park. My opinion, pretty reasonable rule. Now I'm going to read you some of the pushback on this rule because this has been delayed over and over again as a result of industry lobbying and also as a result of the current FTC chair being, in my opinion, a tool. I think I would have made a much better FTC chair, but obviously I'm biased. It imposes unnecessary and unlawful burdens on these companies. Burden. Really? You're talking about burden. So me having to take a half an hour out of my fucking day to go to the post office and leave work early because my job ends at 5 and the post office closes at 5 is not a burden to me. But putting a cancel button on your website is a burden to you. Tell me more about your fucking burden. While IAB supports reasonable regulation, these new rules threaten a business model essential to companies of all sizes across various industries and to consumers. In the past, NCTA has raised concerns that if customers click to cancel one feature in a discounted communications bundle, they may actually see their bills go up for the services they already decided to keep. You see? This isn't about them making more money. They're just trying to help you. They're looking out for your best interests. These rules are arbitrary, capricious, and an abuse of discretion. These rules threaten a business model essential to companies of all sizes across various industries and to consumers. There's a word I've used to describe the mentality I think a lot of these executives have, and I've gotten in quite a bit of trouble for it. I say that they have what I believe to be a rapist mentality. I'm not trying to say that what they're doing is as bad as the crime that that word is associated with. I'm saying that they have a very similar mentality. I started using that to describe them after they claimed if you allow independent mechanics to be able to fix your car, that you may get raped in a parking lot. I am not kidding. This is a commercial that aired in Massachusetts all over the place 5 years ago when Right to Repair was trying to pass. Now, why do I use those words, rapist mentality? Pretty charged words. Because they don't believe in the concept of consent. They don't believe that you should have the right to say no. Imagine if I sat here and told you, wait a second. People can't say no when I ask them out. I'll be a virgin for the rest of my life. It's essential to my romantic life that everybody have to say yes to me. That's sick. To say that your business model would be wrecked if people could voluntarily cancel the services that they signed up for, that's insane. And then look at the words they're using to paint this in a negative light. They're saying that these rules are arbitrary and capricious. Capricious, given a sudden and unaccountable changes of mood and behavior, because they don't believe I should be able to cancel my Netflix account or my gym account or my Amazon Prime account whenever the fuck I want. They think I'm being too emotional with it. Arbitrary, based on random choice or personal whim, rather than any reason or system. I don't give a fuck if you agree with the reasons behind why I want to cancel my Netflix account or my Amazon Prime account or my gym membership. I signed up for it. I'm paying for it. I can cancel it whenever the fuck I want. I can cancel it if I have a good reason to cancel it. I can cancel it if I flipped a coin and I lost. That's up to me to decide, not you, you rapey fuck. You understand why this stuff starts to piss me off. They're saying the quiet part out loud here. If you can cancel what you signed up for, their business model may implode. We're not talking about people canceling the gym membership and still being able to go to your gym. Canceling Amazon Prime and still getting one-day delivery. Canceling their internet service and still getting gigabit symmetrical. We're talking about people no longer paying for services that they're no longer using. If your business model is threatened by this, your business model sucks and you should go out of business. You haven't earned the right to be in business. I hear a lot of the times people say you don't deserve to be in business, but I don't like to talk about what people deserve. I like to talk about what they earn. And if you need to rob people of their money non-consensually in order to stay in business, you have not earned their money. There couldn't be something more bipartisan than this. Most people don't want to drive 7 miles out of their way and waste a half hour of their life to cancel their gym membership. Now, one of my personal favorites of all this is where they're talking about how this could actually affect human life. I'm not kidding. The rabbit hole goes deep with this one. Human life may be at stake if somebody has the ability to click cancel on a service that they were paying for. SecuritySystemNews.com. We are not a Jelly of the Month club or some exotic gym membership hoping to trick consumers and lock them in for a long contract, said Jake Bronger, ESA's Vice President of Advocacy and Public Affairs. If a mistake is made in canceling those contracts through a click-to-cancel method, everything is fine. If a mistake is made and someone doesn't know their security and life safety contract was canceled, there could be a destruction of property or even loss of life. I told you guys to unsubscribe if I ever make that a video thumbnail, but I couldn't help myself. Now, one of the things that bothered me back in 2020, and one of the things I talked about with Andrew Cuomo, is when he said something that I found to be demagogic in nature, when he said, if it saves even one life, right? And the reason that that bothered me is not because I don't care about saving human life. It's not because I am not willing to go out of my way and do everything humanly possible to help all those around me. It's because that standard ignores all negative externalities. I'm going to say something that's probably going to sound really, really mean right now, and I'm going to ask you to forgive me. If one person accidentally cancels their subscription to one of these types of monitoring services, and somebody breaks into their house, and the police don't get there in time because he thought the monitoring service was working and it didn't, and he gets shot in the head, I feel like that's an absolutely horrific loss. If the alternative is that the other 320 plus million people in this country do not have the ability to cancel what they signed up for and have to spend 4 to 5 hours on the phone with customer service running around filing chargebacks to cancel some shit, I'll accept that. We can't live in bullshit la-la land where some random fuckface lobbyist or trade association prick makes up a hypothetical scenario in his head where something bad happens to one person and use that to justify tyranny on another 320 million people. That's not how this works. I am willing to accept that I may make a mistake. And that's the way this works in America. That's the argument that gets used with right to repair all the time. What if they break something? What if something explodes? What if it's not fixed properly? People have been fixing the brakes on trucks, a thing that can go down the road 80 miles an hour, weighs over 4,000 pounds for the last 75 years. And they do that in their driveway. We accept that in order to have freedom, there is risk of pain, loss, mistakes, and tragedies. Click to cancel is a form of freedom. Creating a hypothetical scenario about how somebody may die if somebody cancels their membership. That's insane, bro. And you know what you could do if that really, really bothers you? You can have an automated email, maybe even a phone call to every single person who cancels, because half of the time you pricks do that anyway. You know how many times I've canceled something and then gotten a phone call, an email trying to sell me on staying with that fucking service after I already decided I don't want to pay you anymore? You do that shit anyway. How about you do that shit now? I'm sure it'll cost you nothing to have an email service after they cancel that automatically texts the person and says, hey man, are you sure you know that you just canceled? I'm sure you'll be just fine. That's easy to do. This channel used to be about right to repair, fixing motherboards, and every now and then showing you some crappy New York City commercial real estate. And over the past few years, it's went from right to repair to right to general consumer rights, because lots of consumer rights are being eroded in the United States right now and elsewhere, whether it's forced arbitration, companies selling you shit and taking it back later, or this type of crap where you can't even stop giving a company your money because they think that canceling should be at their discretion, not yours. ConsumerRights.wiki is where we log all of this. You do not even have to register or sign up for an account. It's that easy. If you sign up and you confirm yourself in the Discord, we'll get rid of that capture requirement for you to make it a little bit easier to contribute. What we're trying to do is we're trying to create a database of all of this because other people are not doing it. Modern consumer protection sucks. These agencies are all captured. Other influencers want their sponsorship money, so they're not going to say stuff that makes them seem brand unsafe. Review websites like having advertisers, and they like getting free samples of stuff, and I don't blame them. There is no financial incentive structure to do what I do, because to be at a point where you have over 2 million subscribers and you are completely fucking unsponsorable is not something that your average sane person desires. But luckily, I'm not sane. And thankfully, most of the people that watch this channel ain't either. So if you want to help, go to consumerrights.wiki and try to make this better. There's a link to how you can join the Discord chat. The staff are more than happy to help you find things to do to make this website a little bit better, and I need your help. I'm not asking for your money, I'm asking for your time, because this type of shit is occurring on a daily basis way faster than I can log it on my own. And if you're able to help me log it, we can start pushing back against this. We can use this to shame companies that are doing it. We can use this to get normal, average, everyday people that don't know this is happening to be educated about it so that maybe they stop buying this shit. We can use it to show Congress people and senators, and if not them, at least their legislative aides, to help push forward consumer protection legislation that would stop this from happening. Help me be a part of the change I want to see in the world. Because I guarantee, if you've lived this crap for even 10 seconds, you want to be a part of that change too. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.